Hey everyone, it's Andy Hodges coming to you live for Sebastian Daily in Sebastian. And this video is brought to you by Earl's Hideaway Lounge in Sebastian, Florida. We're here to talk about Hurricane Dorian. That's the big question of where this storm's going to hit. But the first thing we want to tell you is price gouging. If you see price gouging going on during this storm or even right now, call 866-9-NO-SCAM. Again, that's 866-9-NO-SCAM. You can also download the app called No Scam. Hurricane Dorian has been all over the place all week. Last weekend, this thing was supposed to fizzle out, and it didn't. And instead, after it passed Barbados, it strengthened, and then it made a threat to Puerto Rico. And forecasters thought that if it went over Puerto Rico, it would slow down and become eventually a tropical storm for people here in Sebastian and the Florida coast. And that didn't happen. So this thing just kept building. It missed Puerto Rico, and they're expecting a Category 4 landfall. They haven't ruled out Category 5. This is a very serious storm. And they're talking Category 4 right now. Most of the computer models, as well as the National Hurricane Center, their cone of uncertainty matches most of the models that we've seen, the computer-generated ones. And they're saying that landfall could happen anywhere between West Palm Beach and Miami. And as the storm approaches Florida and makes that landfall, it's going to do a slower turn to the north, which will be a little bit more inland inside the state of Florida. Now, we don't know if it's going to be in the center or on the west coast. And there's some models that say that or suggest that it's going to go right on out in the Gulf. And we'll talk about that more in a second. Just a few tips here. Now is the time to get prepared for this storm. Now, it doesn't look so bad for Sebastian right now if this tracking continues. But we're going to get some winds, and we're going to get some flooding and some storm surge. So today and tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, are the days to prepare. You got to prepare. Don't put it off. Don't put it off till Sunday, because Sunday is going to rain, and the winds are going to be picking up. And then, they're expecting landfall early Tuesday morning. So Sunday and Monday is out of the question. Start boarding up now. Don't put it off, and make sure you've got your medications and food and water and other supplies that will last you 7 days. Pet food. Don't forget about the pets. They need to eat too. So make sure you do that Friday and Saturday. Even if we don't get this storm, make sure you do it, because we are in a hurricane-prone area. Sebastian, we get these hurricanes, and they threaten us every year. So make sure you get prepared. And when you go to Home Depot and Publix and Winn-Dixie and other stores, make sure you're nice to the people who are helping you out. These employees are working hard to help, and they're putting off their home basics right now to help people get in and out of the stores. And also be kind to other people. I know everyone's panicking and worried about this storm, and they're in a bad mood, but just take a breather. It's going to be fine. It doesn't do anyone any good to be in a bad mood when you go into these stores. So just be nice to people. This Hurricane Dorian is slowing down as far as movement. It is moving to the northwest, and it slowed down to 10 miles per hour because of a high ridge that's coming down. And this shear is steering the hurricane. It's steering it to the west, and it's making that left turn right now to the west as we do this video. And what that means is it, depending on how strong this ridge is, it can keep going west over Florida, or it could turn to the north before or in the middle of Florida. So it's all up to that ridge, of what that ridge decides to do. And of course, Hurricane Dorian has a mind of its own. This storm has been all over the map. So nothing is definite yet. There's no official forecast that says that we won't get it, but the models and the tracking looks good right now. There's three things that could happen with this hurricane. Some of the models are showing Dorian. It could take a north early before the state of Florida and not make landfall. That's like a Hurricane Matthew, what Matthew did. There's more models now showing that could happen. It could go in the middle of the state and go up the coast on the west coast, or it could go right over the state and into the Gulf. So those are the three predictions right now, and no one knows yet. That's the $1 million question: is when is it going to make that turn north? And we should know more and more by Sunday. So speaking of that, we want to talk about the map real quick. I printed out the recent map, and I'm going to turn this way for a second so you can see this map. Now, when these maps come out, watch this right here. Every time a new map comes out, this is moving more to the west, and this seems to be the pattern. So if this hurricane keeps going to the west, it'll end up in the middle of the state or on the west coast. Now, there's other models that suggest that around here it could go north and miss Florida altogether. So those are the three predictions that we're looking at right now. But, you know, it used to be a couple days ago, for about 2 or 3 days, it had Sebastian as ground zero, and that scared me, and I'm sure it scared you too. We don't want a hurricane here. We've been through Francis and Jean. It's just a major hurricane for sure. So that's what we're looking at. Now, they're saying Tuesday morning this thing is going to hit. Now, that can change too. It could go to Wednesday, or it could go a day prior to that. We just don't know yet. So the more that it gets closer to Florida, the better we're going to be able to forecast this storm. And but in the meantime, it's business as usual. Let me talk about the weather real quick. For tonight, we got a small chance of showers. The winds will be around 10 miles per hour, 78 degrees for the overnight. Saturday and Sunday, 50% chance of rain and into the evening. So, like I said, make sure you've done all your boarding up by Sunday. You don't want to be out in the rain messing with plywood and all that. The low Saturday and Sunday's night will be around 77. Now, Labor Day, the rain increases to 70%. The high is going to be around 87. And hurricane conditions are possible for Monday night, Labor Day. And the rain will continue all through the night. And then Tuesday, as of today, Friday, hurricane conditions will be all day. Now, those hurricane conditions could also be tropical storm conditions for us, but be prepared for the worst. And we're better off preparing for the worst than anything. So, and you want to make sure that if you are in an evacuation zone, listen to the local city of Sebastian or the county, Indian River County or South Brevard. Listen to the officials on evacuations. And we're going to have more on that coming up this afternoon. We're going to be talking more about what the county has planned, the shelters that are open, and so on. So business as usual. If you're already boarded up and you want something to do, everything is still scheduled for the weekend. Let me tell you what I think is going to be some great things to do while we wait for Hurricane Dorian. Today at 3:30, Greg and Brian will be performing at the Captain Hiram Sandbar. At 6 o'clock, Denise Turner will be at the Old Fish House in Grant. At 8:30, Love Valley will be at Earl's Hideaway Lounge. On Saturday at 6 p.m., Vinnie Hines will be at the Old Fish House in Grant. At 8:30, Crash Rocket will be at Earl's Hideaway Lounge. And also Sunday is going to be a big day so far if it doesn't rain. Lauren Mitchell will be playing at Earl's Hideaway Lounge at 2 and at 7:30. And I hope that this that it doesn't rain, because the Stones Clones will be performing at Earl's Hideaway at 7:30 Sunday night. If you have not seen this band and you're a Rolling Stones fan, you got to see the Stones Clones. They're musicians right here in Sebastian and Vero Beach, and they've created this band called the Stones Clones, and they sound pretty much like the Rolling Stones. So other than that, we have to wait for this storm, but in the meantime, don't panic. Make sure you're prepared. If you're prepared, you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to be panicked about. So let's stay safe. We've got more videos coming to you every day before this storm, and we will be reporting live when this storm hits. Andy Hodges for Sebastian Daily. Be safe and get prepared.